How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today, I'm with Connor Kenny. How you doing?
You pretty good, man. We're using one mic because I did have two mics, but it's too difficult. It's too
Yeah,
difficult.
yeah, definitely. So we're coming at you from Dubai here today, but we're going to take a look at the market, talk about what to do in this kind of market. Is this the next bull run? What kind of cryptos are we looking at? And are we just going all into the market right now? So first, we have to take a look at the market. Obviously, it's a pretty green day today with Bitcoin up around 21,300. It was up to about 21,400 before. Ethereum's up. BNB's up. I mean, take a look at that, 16% in 7 days. Dogecoin's up. Pretty much everything is green across the board, and the market cap is coming in well over $1 trillion. So that's nice to see. We also have the Bitcoin chart here. We did break through a pretty significant resistance here, around 21,200, bounced off of it as well. And you can see that we are popping up to a pretty interesting level where we have a pretty significant resistance as well, around 21,900. You see we bounced or got rejected by it several times. If we break through, then the next level is really 22.5. And then we have the 200 week moving average, which is slightly above that, around 24,000. So it's an interesting time. So many different levels to be paying attention to. Also, if you do want to buy on some of these support lines, some of the resistance lines, and you want to try to make short-term trades, there is a link to BitGet underneath the video where you can get up to, I think it's $4,300 worth of sign-up bonuses. There's also a link down there to moomoo too. So if you want to buy some stocks and get some free bonuses as well, get some free stocks. They're giving you $10 just for any kind of deposit plus free stocks as well. So check those out underneath the video. Now, this market's exciting, right? It's definitely a fun time after we've been down so much. I think we were just talking about how we moved $700 and we were like all pumped up. But in a bull market, that's nothing. Like you don't even pay attention to it. You can't even tell the difference. So like in this kind of market, Connor, like what are you buying right now?
Buying. Yeah. That is the hard one, really, isn't it? So I don't know if much of your viewers watch my channel. Hopefully, if you do, let us know down in the comment section if we're doing a little bit of a crossover here. You would have seen our video that we just made together. The sound's better on this one because the mic situation's a little bit better. But I am buying right now. Over the last like 6 months, I've been dollar cost averaging heavily into Bitcoin. Well, not so heavily when we were at the top. I did buy some around the $40,000 region. Then we lost that, so I bought more around the $30,000 region. Then we lost that, so I bought more around the $20,000 region. And then since dropping below 20,000, but seeing some stability, I've been going very heavily below 20,000. And that is in both Bitcoin and then some Bitcoin miners. Hut 8 and Clean Spark I've been dollar cost averaging into because I feel like they give me exposure to two different kinds of things. So with Hut 8, they hold their Bitcoin. With Clean Spark, they sell it to reinvest into the company. So it's like two different variations of the same thing. And then I also invest into Bitcoin. So I'm very focused onto Bitcoin in that sort of category or box of investing because I just feel like Bitcoin at minimum will go to 100K eventually. So with all of those investments, I think the upside is incredible and the downside isn't that bad. Like, sure, we might go to $10,000. That's a possibility. But if a 50% drop from here is what I'm looking at for that sort of risk to reward, like 50% down, but 1,000% up on some of those miners, then that's a risk to reward that I like. And that's just Bitcoin. Of course, dollar cost averaging into Ethereum as well. I've been doing that for the last few months just because we had the merge coming. I did think we would get a buy the rumor, sell the news event, which is, we got that in the short term, but now I think we're sitting relatively close to where we were anyway. We got the amazing opportunity below $1,000 to buy Ethereum. And since then, it's been up. So we've made some significant gains already. I haven't really been buying any small altcoins that much, playing the field a little bit here and there. I have some of my wild cards with like the meme coins and the hype coins, Dogecoin, Shiba, and Luna Classic. A lot of people think Luna Classic is dead, and we don't know what's going to happen next with Luna Classic, but really what we do know is the community behind it is similar to that of Doge and Shiba. And if you take away everything else, those sorts of communities are the ones that see these random spikes. So we saw Dogecoin move 100%. And we actually saw Luna Classic about a month ago move 500%. And if I can make the best of those, awesome. Like at the end of the day, people can think what they want about Luna Classic. I don't know if it's going to go down from here or up from here, but again, risk to reward, small amount of my portfolio for those sorts of investments to capitalize on those huge moves. Sure. And yeah.
Is that all you've been buying then too? Because I know we talked about it a little bit as well, but you have been buying properties and some stocks as well that
Yeah.
aren't Bitcoin miners. Do you mind going
Yeah.
to that at all?
Yeah, so property wise, I was going very heavily. If anyone followed my channel from about when me and Sam first started talking, it was what, a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
And I always had a plan to take profits in the bull market and buy property. And I said that from the start, and that's what I did. And like, but the reason why I had that plan, and the reason why I could stick to selling in profit, even though a lot of the coins that I sold weren't at the very top, and it's like an emotional game, right? You sell something and it continues to rise, and you're like, no. But because I made a lot of money in 2017, and I lost every single penny of it, everything, because I didn't take one single profit. So in this bull run, my game plan was always take profits, buy property. So that's exactly what I did. And from the heights of the bull market where I bought the most up until now, I've been buying more property. And then in the stocks and shares world, Amazon, I got heavily in. I can't remember what the event was now because I don't really focus on it too much. But there was an event with Amazon where I think they dropped about 12% in a day,
Yeah.
12-15% in a day. So that's when I got quite a big position. Since then, it went up about 20%, but now we're sitting at just below again. So recently, I bought some more Amazon. I actually cleaned up my whole stocks and shares portfolio because it was a lot of crap. You know, like
Yeah.
back in the bull market, we got penny stocks, SPACs, all of that. And I cleaned that up. I actually still hold one of the SPACs. It's called Fisker. It's an electric vehicle company, very much a wild card. But I feel like it's just one of those things. Like he used to work at Tesla. His first company failed. There's a lot of things about the guy, Henrik Fisker, that I like and about the company itself. So I still have not a huge position in comparison to my portfolio, but still a large sum of money in it. And what else have I been buying? Oh, the S&P 500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like we both could have done better in the bull market at selling, but we also definitely did pretty well. I think because I personally didn't invest a ton into crypto. I mean, it was very sizable compared to anything I had invested, but I also had a lot coming in as well. So I invested a lot, but I knew that I had significant cash buffers every single month. I wasn't investing every single penny into the market, but part of that was because I was making a lot compared to what I made in the past, so I wasn't comfortable investing that much. But for you, you invested a lot more, but you also took profits a lot more. Like I only sold some of the very small altcoins, but like Bitcoin and Ethereum, I barely sold any Ethereum, maybe 20%. And Bitcoin, I've been buying more. I have more every single month than I had the month before. And there's not been one month where that wasn't the case. So I think that's something that we can probably work on even a little bit more into the next bull market. Because some things are great to have as insurance, like maybe Bitcoin if the world collapses or the US dollar collapses or something. But a lot of these other altcoins, I would rather just have more property or more stocks or something that's a little bit different than what we already hold. So with that in mind, what kind of altcoins are you looking to buy before the next bull market? Like what do you want to average into? And when are you thinking about maybe doing that?
I'll just get up my portfolio now so we know. I mean, mainly without naming single altcoins, because I've named a few already on the channel that I'm looking into, but there's one specific, what would you call it, like group of altcoins that I've seen do very well in the past.
Metaverse.
No. There's money to be made. I mean, things like Sandbox, Decentraland potentially can go up. Small gaming tokens that we've looked at on the channels before, potentially, if they actually come through with what they were saying, I reckon could do well. But the thing is right now, the risk to reward to buying, X game that has their own token right now is it's a needle in a haystack. A couple of them are going to make people multi-millionaires from now to the bull market, but who knows which one it is. With that said, if you can get involved in a pre-sale, if you find something super early on, you get into their Discord, you get to know the developers, you get an opportunity to invest early on with a small amount of money, like whatever 0.5% of your portfolio is, for example, or 1% or 0.1%, a small amount in comparison to your portfolio. If you can get an opportunity to do that now, then that's the sort of risk to reward that I would be looking at with those sorts of things. But the group of coins is exchange tokens. And the reason why I say that is I actually, in the last bull market, I think it was going into the bull market, I actually did a look into all of these, and it only really popped up on my radar again because we've been recently working with a company called BitGet, and they have their own token, and it's a very the market cap in comparison to the amount of money they make is low, right? And it's huge market cap still, but in comparison to some of these other coins, there's big moves that could be made, and that really got me in the mindset of, oh wait, if you look back on history of bear markets, right? Let's just use 2017 to 2018 to 2020, mid 2021, right? Like that period of time, good exchange tokens outperformed Bitcoin. And the thing is about exchange tokens is they're a company that makes money. So for example, Bitcoin, BNB and Binance. Binance uses the exchange's profits to actually buy back and burn BNB.
Yep.
So that's even if and the exchange uses BNB for trading fees, and BNB has its own ecosystem. So it's like all of those things. It's like, most crypto right now has an idea, but there's no utility, there's no cash flow, all of that. Whereas something like BNB has an amazing cash flow, has amazing utility, has everything you need it's a real business that has an ecosystem that has a crypto coin, right? And just using that as the example, you can take that information and you can apply it to any exchange that has their own token. You can look into the token. Do they have an ecosystem? Do they have buyback and burns? Do they have pay with the token to do the fees? Is there a large amount out in circulation, or is there a very small amount? How big is the market cap? All of that sort of thing. And I think there's some serious gains that can be made using those. And those are less risky than, let's say, a very early on game, in my opinion.
Sure. And I think that's one of the reasons I like to do videos like that, because, I mean, we talk all the time, but I still hadn't thought about it exactly like that. Like, when we look at BNB's chart here, you can see there was $6 back in 2019, and it was still, I think, a relatively large exchange by 2019. Yeah. It started 2017, I think, but now it went up over 100x in 3 years, and part of that just is because of the fact that, like you said, they can buy back their token. So it's kind of like a company, right? If a company makes significant cash flows, it can definitely fall in price. But let's say a company is making $1 billion and they're going to buy back their shares. Is it going to be worth $1 million, right? No, it's not going to be, because they could just buy a significant amount of their shares back, right? There's some level of support there, because if BNB goes down significantly too and they're still making a ton of money, then obviously they can buy back a lot of their own crypto. Now, if the company fails, then it definitely hurts the crypto. But I hadn't really thought about that too much, because with, let's say, a gaming token that has vesting, and every single month they increase the supply by 2% or something, 25% throughout the year, give or take, it's just going to have a lot of selling pressure. There's just going to be people that continuously sell it, and there's not much use for it in a bear market for sure. So definitely check those out. Are there any specific ones you're looking at? I know that you've invested in a few yourself.
The main ones that I pay attention to anyway, BNB, there's the only ones that I'm personally invested in, BNB, Kronos chain, so that's for crypto.com, and BitGet token, I think, are the only ones that I hold positions in, like large positions. But pretty much any big exchange that's out there, even small exchanges, just look at all the things that I mentioned earlier, and you're going to find some gems there. And if you want to learn more about those, I cover them consistently on the channel, so there'll be a link down there in the description.
Definitely.
Plug.
And then last question. So we have this little run in the market. We have a little bit of excitement coming back into the space. I don't think we're to the point where everyone is starting to, get crazy and new people are coming in and people are just investing everything that they have been holding as cash, if they have any cash left. But there's not like a ton of people flooding into the market, but we're starting to get some excitement. So with this in mind, what do you do between now and maybe end of the year or beginning of next year? Like, are you just going to throw all your money in because now it looks like we're going back into a bull market, or are we going to wait a little bit? Do you try to dollar cost average or start holding cash? Because that's something that I've been doing a little bit more. I've been slowly stopping DCAing as much. I've still been dollar cost averaging, but a little bit less in crypto because we are seeing a little bit of a pump. So what are you doing?
All right, so I think we DCA slightly differently, right? You DCA on a time frame.
Yeah.
With Ethereum, I DCA very often, but it's only because the market was down. So I've slowed down again, like you with Ethereum. Bitcoin, I was only buying in extreme fear. because that's something that I noticed as a pattern, right? When you're in extreme fear, it's very rare that you don't see an upside from there. So like I said, all the way down when it was extreme fear, that's when I was buying Bitcoin. Beneath 20,000, we sat in extreme fear for months, so I was buying very heavily. So again, right now, I've not bought any Bitcoin since we've come up again because there's just no reason to. I do believe that we are in a bear market rally, so I do believe we're going to see some better prices than we're in right now. Not necessarily saying that we won't go into a bull market, a very short-term one, right? Or let's call it a bear market rally where there's significant gains to be made. But because I've been so heavily investing in extreme fear, I'm already ready for that to happen, right? So if we do exactly what happened in 2019, we pump 300%. My whole portfolio is going to go crazy because I've been, very small coins, small amounts. Big coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum, large amounts. My Bitcoin miners, large amounts. So if we move 300%, my whole portfolio is going to go on a huge run from there, and I'll be able to shave, let's say, 50% of the portfolio, potentially. I haven't really decided exactly what I'll do, but if we get a really euphoric run where the market thinks we're back in a bull market, I'll be telling myself we're not in a bull market, right? So I'll shave 50% off, and then I'll just simply wait again until the market returns to extreme fear. That extreme fear may not be a cheaper price, but if I'm always investing in extreme fear, I give myself the best opportunity to get the best prices. And if I'm taking profits in euphoria, I give myself the best opportunity to protect my downside.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Yeah, because I think I tried to time the market even a little bit less, like we talked about. I've been pretty much just buying Bitcoin consistently because I never thought that there was a price that there was a good enough price I'd want to sell out at significantly. But I might be looking at doing that with some of my smaller altcoins too, because I think we all have a little bit of maybe some dust, I think is what they call it, left over from the last bull market, and maybe some more risky altcoins too. But Connor, thanks for joining the channel today. We'll have a link underneath the video in the description for Connor's, where we shot a video as well. And there is that link to BitGet and to moomoo underneath the video as well. Connor, thanks for hosting me, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Peace.